Hello, my name is Trydar. Welcome to the future. And today I'm going to be showing you how to build a futuristic nether portal. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make the base of the platform. And to do this, you want to start with a simple 3-block wide space. And from there, the center of your portal, this is actually going to be an odd center, which means it's going to have 2 blocks. So what I'm showing you here, you're going to want to mirror on the other side. So we have our 3 blocks we start out with, and you want to extend that out to a 3-block by 14-block square, like this. And after that, you're going to want to count 2 blocks out here, and then on the 3rd block, you want to step out a block and add 2 blocks, step out again, add 2 blocks, and so on and so forth. And you want to do this 11 times. And this right here is going to be the edge, which means when you get to this point, you want to cut back in and go in 2-block steps 11 more times this way, and then build another 3-block by 14-block rectangle. Once you've done that, you'll want to go around this side and do the same thing that you did over there. And that should give you this shape right here. And this is going to be our central hexagon that we build everything off of. So to make sure you got the dimensions right, you want to count from this point to the other side over here. This is going to be 48 blocks wide. And conversely, from here all the way over here is going to be 42 blocks broad. So when you're doing this, make sure you count that very carefully and get all the dimensions right. Remember that I said this has a 2-block center, which is around here, and it's also got a 2-block center on the other side. Which means that in the center, it's not going to meet up at a cross like this. It's going to meet up at a 2-block thick cross like that. And that is how it works out when you're building a hexagon. So to recap before we move on, you start with a 3-block marker over here. Then you extend that out 14 blocks. And then you do 11 side steps out in 2-block increments like this. Then you mirror that over here, go in over here, and mirror the entire thing this way until you get the completed hexagon. So, once you have that completed hexagon done, we now have to establish the rest of the base. And for clarity, I'm marking this out in red wool as I go. While I have used a lot of obsidian in this build here, I of course don't expect you to do that if you're doing it in survival. Just pick whatever material choice you wish to have. You can build it out of cobblestone if you want. But we have our marker over here, and I showed you previously. So out from that, you want to extend this area 6 blocks and 2 blocks wide. And then you want to go another series of step outs, and you want to do this 3 times. And then back in 3 times. And then from here, you want to go out 8 blocks, and in a block, then another 2 blocks this way, and this should now intersect with the previous hexagon that you made. You want to follow this pattern on the other side here, like so. Now I have made this 2 blocks thick, but if you're running short of materials, you can only make this part 1 block thick, because I imagine that most of this section that I'm showing you here is going to be buried under the ground, or at least sitting on a level surface. But if you want to, it's going to be rather tall, so I would suggest burying part of this underground for the best effect. So after you've got your completed hexagon and your completed sides here, we then want to establish the base that the portal is going to eventually sit on. Now I've gone ahead and marked this out here in my original design, but you don't really have to do this step here. Just fill the entire hexagon in with either sea lanterns or glowstone or some block that emits light, because the next step, which we want to do, is going to be extending up the base. And the reason we're doing this, as I will go over here and show you, is so that we can have the stained glass fog effect on the base of our platform here. And it actually looks better if you don't use shaders, because the way the glass renders in here, you can see all the way down. But if you're using the default lighting, this will look quite a bit better. Also looks best if you have connected glass textures enabled. So to get this, one of the things we want to do is extend over the platform. So from the outside of our hexagon, we want to extend in 6 blocks. And we want to do this all the way around. Now, if you're running short of materials, again, you can just do the inside here and count your block over here, then leave 4 empty spaces and build your side wall over here. And from the exterior that I showed you over here, we have our original edge here. You want to extend this in like that, and you just want to go all the way across the hexagon until you have a solid 2-block wide pathway over this way. And as you can see, this is going to be going all the way up. But the next thing you want to do is get the diagonal right. So in other words, if you've done this part here and extended this all the way inside, on the outside here, after you've extended it in as well, 6 blocks this way, it should meet up like that. And you want to go in the corner and add 3 blocks here, then another 3 blocks, then 2, then 3, 3 again, and then 2. As you can see, this is a repeating pattern. So it's 3, and 2, and 3, and 3, and 2, and 3, and 2, and so on and so forth. And that will get you on the inside here. I think there's a doubling of the 3 blocks right here. So I'll show you this again on the top. This is going to be the interior perimeter of our hexagon down there. So you add 3, then 3, then 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, and then so on and so forth until you get to the center here. And this should match up down below with the 2-block wide thing we have going down here. So I'll give you a good long look at this pattern here. As I've said, the only tricky bit in the middle here is where we have a doubling of the 3 in this way. But once that is done, you now have the base set up for the sections. And what you want to do in the middle there is cover all of these with purple carpet. Well, I've chosen purple anyway, to make it match the portal. If you want to have your stained glass here be a different color, say blue, if you have the texture of your portal block and your texture pack changed to blue, you can make this blue, or just pretty much whatever color stained glass you want to have. And with that done here, you will also see we now have the beginnings of the portal frame, which is just a big rectangle that goes out like this. The dimensions of the portal frame here, we want to count inside. We're going to have our 2-block wide thing that goes entirely across. But to get this, all you want to do is add 2 more blocks on the outside edges of that here, and then go all the way across until you hit the middle. And the interior of that, to get from here to here, is 12 blocks. But when building this, if you find that to be too complicated, it's not a very necessary step. You can skip that and just make it plain if you wish. But you will also notice that when you get up to the top here, we have a different selection of materials. We have a 3-block wide thing of cyan terracotta. And of course, we have our 3-block thick section here for the interior of the portal base. I've of course made this out of obsidian, but if you want to make it out of, say, black concrete or something, you can do that. You will also see on these sides here that we have these hollow things on the outside, which are just decorative elements to balance out the portal on the sides here. All you do to get these is take the sections that we built over here, just leave them 1 block thick and extend them up. Now, the total height for this portal base from here to here is 11 blocks. And for those of you that do not know how to do the glass fog effect, all you have to do to get that is have a lower base of light blocks, cover it with a piece of carpet for whichever color that matches your glass color, and then above that, you want to have your glass layers separated out like this and leave an air gap between them. To get the best effect on this, you want to have 5 layers of glass blocks. And then counting the carpet down here, you want 5 layers of air in between them. And with that done, once again, if you're not running shaders, you won't be able to see the carpet down there. It will all have a nice foggy effect that goes all the way down to the bottom. This is, of course, not my glass technique. This is something I picked up from Miss Gal, but it's a technique I've become rather fond of building. So, once you have your hexagon laid out and you fill in the 6 spokes down here, you just fill it in with carpet, and then you extend up the spokes and the walls all the way up to 11 blocks tall, and then you layer in your glass elements down here. By this time, you should also have extended up the side things around here. And with that done, it should now look like this. Well, almost. We're now going to cover the lower parts of the portal here. And one of the things to get the roofs over here, I think I'll explain this first. To get the sides of the roofs here, you have your roof over here, which I will make out of cobble. You want to fill this in here. Just follow the lines of your hexagon. You need to make it 2 thick at the top if you've only previously made it 1 thick. And then from here, you want to build up a block like this on either side, a 2x2. And then you want to do the same thing, except to go up another block, like this. And just continue repeating that, going up another block like that, and then up yet another block like this, and so on and so forth until you get all the way to the top like that. And once you've done that, you want to just extend this across and then start coming back down on the other side until you get something that looks like this. Now, in between these, to get the roof of this, you want to go in under a block and go like this, and so on and so forth, and extend your roof across like this, and that will cover in that and give you this part right here, which I've covered with obsidian. With that done, you're ready to add the decorative antennas here, which I've added. And to get these, you go in the center block at the back here, count in 3 blocks on either side, leave a 2-block gap in the middle here, and then you should have your blocks there and there, and then you want to go up with 2 block increments like this and skip a block and add in your other material. And you want to do this 4 times for this one and 3 times for this one. If you want to add in a little bit more detail at the top here, you could put in a little glowstone or some sea lanterns like that, which will help light up the place a little bit more. So with those done, we're now ready to go back, and I think we need to knock out some of the glass we placed probably. And you want to go down a couple of blocks here and add the base of the portal. This is important because we want to make our portal base over there look like it's sunken into the platform just a little bit. And you do this by adding just 2 blocks down of cyan terracotta. And you want to replicate this pattern here. So with that done, the base of the portal should now be complete, and we are ready to build the portal itself. Now, at this point, if you don't want to go through all the work of building the portal base, and you just want the portal itself, this is the part of the video you want to pay attention to. And I think probably the best way to illustrate this, I'm going to show you 2 ways, but the first way is going to be the exploded view of the portal itself here. You can see how I put this together. It's mirrored on both sides here, meaning that this section here is the same as this section over here. So to begin, you want to go ahead and build your portal. So as you can see, we have a regular nether portal here. There's no special mods required to build this structure. This is all vanilla. So the dimensions of this portal from here to here is 22 blocks. And also from down here to up here is going to be 20 blocks. In other words, the portal is 2 blocks shorter than it is wide. And as you can see over here, I've had to make it this particular shape because it just fits on the inner edge here of the hexagon. And you can also see the reason we have the frame on it and it gets a little bit smaller on the insides is so we can hide the square portal frame inside the hexagonal shape. So what this does is gives us the illusion of having a hexagonal nether portal, but of course it is just a standard nether portal. So I'm now going to explain from front to back how to build this. So this is going to have a 6 block wide staircase in the middle here. So you want to count out 6 blocks and then put a 3 block wide thing over here. This is going to be the very front of the portal. For this, I put in a little glowstone accent, but if you want, you can knock that out and just put in a standard material or any other material you want to have. Then, up from that, you want to immediately put on top of it some more material here for this section, and then some half slabs of your chosen material. For here, I've used quartz because we don't have concrete half slabs. Because for this, the white here, I've used white concrete, but you can use whichever material you wish to have, of course. That gives you your first step. For stage 3, you want to put on top of that some detail like this here. And then just have a run of full blocks all the way across here, which will give you this here, which I have done in cyan terracotta. And then going back, you want to do the same thing you did again, except put a little block up here and another layer of half slabs. Now, it's at this point here that we want to start building the hexagonal frame. And to do this, you want to count out 3 blocks from the side of the stair platform. And then you want to go up and add 2 blocks on top of that. And then, as you'll remember from the horizontal hexagonal platform I showed you earlier, you want to follow the same pattern. of adding 2 blocks, then stack 2 more blocks on top of it. Go out a block for 2 blocks, then 2 more on top of that. And from the bottom here, you want to do this 6 times. And to get the outer shape of this right, you want to go up another 6 here and build the top of the frame there. And then you can just go along behind what you've already done and just make the whole thing 2 blocks thick. And go around the entire portal frame and do that. And then with both sides of that done, you want to have a 2 block thick bar at the top here. Extend that all the way across and it will meet up on the other side. And you will have the first phase of the frame of the portal hexagon complete. The next phase of this is very simple. All you're going to do is add in behind your hexagonal portal frame. It should be 1 block thick, but now you want to go ahead and make it 2 blocks thick. Do this all the way around your frame. And the top of the portal frame down here at the bottom should be 2 blocks tall. And you will be extending your railing here for your stairs back a little bit more for the 3 blocks on either side. And that's going to be the top of the staircase that we've been building. And with that done, we are now ready to get to the next part of the phase here. You should have your cyan terracotta frame complete here, 2 blocks thick all the way around. Your stairs complete. And now we're ready to go out on the sides here and start making the frame both thicker on the outside and narrower on the inside. So we'll start with the inside first. I've chosen white concrete for this, but you're going to be coming along behind your frame back here and adding in some white concrete. You want to make it 6 blocks wide because you're immediately going to go up 3 blocks here for your stairs to get that finished. But the frame for the white concrete here is the same as the cyan terracotta frame that we just built for the hexagon. Meaning that when you get over here, you want to come up 2 blocks, then 2 blocks, and 2 blocks, and make it double thick like the previous hexagonal frame, except you want to make it just a little bit shorter. Because as you can see over here in this completed design, we have our white concrete that is sitting 2 blocks behind our cyan terracotta here. And all you do is go behind the frame that you just made and inset another hexagon of white concrete or whatever different material you choose to use inside the previous frame. And also on the outside here, to make our portal fit down here at the bottom, we want to come out 1 block thick at the same level as our white concrete. But I've chosen to use obsidian here, but you can use whichever material you have chosen for this. And this section is going to be 4 blocks wide here. And this is going to be a outer hexagonal band of material that goes around the exterior of the portal here. And I've chosen to use this out of obsidian because the portal itself is obsidian. And it is just made out of sections that go up like this. They don't go out at 2 by 2. As you can see, they're a 1 by 3 border that goes around the edges here, except at the sides here it's going to be 4 blocks from here to here, and then you go back to 3 blocks and then 3 and then 3 until you get to the very top, and you just want to make another band across the portal like so, because at that point you're going to want to do the reverse side of your portal over here, which is going to be the cyan terracotta frame again. And down at the bottom, on the other side, you build another set of stairs going down the other side. But as you can now see, the secret of this portal here, to give us the illusion, is Now, once you come in one block here, you're going to be hitting your portal frame. Because you can either build your portal frame first, or you can build it at this point. But this is going to be the corner of your portal frame here. Remember, I said it's 22 blocks from here to here, and 20 blocks tall. And as you can see, it just fits in the corners of the hexagon. And when you're building this and extending your obsidian behind your concrete frame here, once you've built your concrete frame here, you want to come behind it and add in another hexagonal detail of obsidian behind it. It's the same frame as the white concrete, but it's just extended back with obsidian. And that gets put in front of your nether portal here, which gives you the illusion, when you're looking around from this side, that the nether portal actually ends here at a hexagonal jagged pattern. But as you can now see, what really happens is that it extends. It's just a normal square portal that goes behind the hexagon like this. So it's at this point that I'm now explaining to you how to build half the portal, because this portal, as you can see, is mirrored on the other side. Which means that when you get to the point where you put in your portal here, you now want to take everything you've done from here, reverse the steps, and build it out on the other side. So that's showing you how to build the portal from the front in. Let me also give you some visual steps in case you want to do this from the bottom up. It's more complicated to do from the bottom up, so I haven't explained that in great detail. But this is going to be what the base looks like for that. This is the first layer of the base. As you can see here, we've got the beginnings of our stairs and our portal frames. Then going up another couple of blocks from that, you can see here we now have the beginnings of the portal frame taking place, and the steps of the stairs are now complete. You can see that they're mirrored on both sides here. And here you can either fill in the glowstone here, or you can knock it out like that and have a setback effect. Just build this in whichever way seems best to you. Also, I should remark, if you're wondering how I get these nether portals to do very strange things like this and not have a top, this is because I chopped this off with MC-Edit. And inside of MC-Edit, you can actually take individual portal sections here and put them in whatever arrangement you actually want to have. But because when you're going to be building this in survival or on a server or something, you're not going to have access to that program. So I haven't included that. I'm just remarking on that so you can see and understand why the portals here look rather strange. But this here is a half completed from the bottom up version of the portal. Here you can see that we have our nether portal cutting on the inside here. And we have mirrored on either side our portal frame coming out like this. And it's at this point I want to remark that while the base you're going to be building has an odd numbered center here, the portal itself has a 5 block wide thing here, which means it has a 1 block wide center here. This is just a compromise we have to make to get the hexagon to have the right shape on the bottom. But unless you want to build a double nether portal in the middle here, which you could do, it's going to be offset 1 block when you're building it, so don't let that throw you. And once you've gone through all these steps, you will have your nether portal complete pretty much. You'll have your beginnings of your frame here. Then you add your concrete on the inside here, your obsidian on the outside there. And putting everything together will give you the complete nether portal here. So this completes the tutorial for the Futuristic Nether portal. I did my best to explain everything to you, so I hope all that was clear. If my explanation wasn't quite good enough, you will be able to download what I've showed you today, as well as the complete portal as a direct download, so you can take a look at it for yourself and see exactly what I've done. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.